ambavyo ama jinsi ambavyo inafanyika katika mataifa ambayo yamejiendeleza katika mchezo wa rugby. Mimi ni Pinchez. Haya mazungumzo najua ndani ya dakika za kuhesabu utakuwa unapata raha kwa sababu utakuwa unajua kuhusiana na tarehe rasmi za mashindano ya Safari Rugby ambayo yanaandaliwa katika uwanja ama eneo ya M-Pesa Foundation Academy. Alafu zaidi utakuwa unajua pia kama wewe ni mchezaji na unataka kujihusisha na mashindano haya unahitaji kufanya nini ama ni nini ambacho unahitaji kufanya ili tarehe 5 ikifika unakuwa wewe ni baadhi ya timu ama baadhi ya wachezaji ambao watakuwa wanawania yale ambayo yatakuwa yanapokezwa katika haya mashindano. Karibu Jimbugwa. Karibu kwenye sebule. Sio mara ya kwanza tunapata kuzungumza na wewe, lakini nafurahi kwamba urafiki wetu umezidi, kwamba hatukufanya moja alafu kaenda. Sasa tunapata kupatana tena, alafu tunapatana tukikaribia michuano. Labda kwa mtu ambaye anatazama kwa mara ya kwanza, kwa kumkumbusha tu Safari Rugby ni kuhusu nini na labda initiative ambazo mko nazo.
Asante sana. Yes, mimi nitatumia kizungu, lugha ya kimombo. Yes, my name is Samuel Mbugua Githeri, as you've properly introduced me. I come from Safari Rugby. I chair the Central Region, and yes, we are announcing and launching our new product, the Safari GPS vest. Yes, we are going into the Maori Sevens tournament, even as we announced that to the general public. So yes, to answer your question about what Safari Rugby is about, we are just an organization that stands in the place and tries to make life a little bit better for the player. Yeah, we have other players in the sector, the Kenya Rugby Union, who is doing an amazing job with the rugby. We're just standing in the gap to see that at least we absorb a good number of our players and try to engage them in something more sustainable. Yeah.
You talk about a new product or rather a new initiative. Labda tuzungumze pia kuhusu na zile ambazo mmefanya kwanza. Ndio mtu apate utambulisho. Nadhani kwamba ndio mara labda ya 3 ama ya 2 nasikia kuhusu the Maori 7. The last time I think nilisikia ilikuwa Thika. So before tuingie kwa the new product, let's talk about zile products ambazo mmekuwa mkifanya ama vitu ambazo mmekuwa mkifanya.
Over the last years, we've been recruiting boys. Yeah, so we've been calling on 2 boys to come wakuja wacheze in our tournaments. But now, every participant, every person who plays in our tournaments, we always just take them through academic scholarships. So we've done this. This should be our 3rd year. Now, the first one, the Joshua Azikiwe Cup, we were targeting a number of 50 boys. We had about 1.5 mic that we had set aside to help us foresee that. So
by mic ni unajua watu wanasema alikuwa na mic hizo zote.
Oh no 1.5 million, yeah. So we did a program with the 1.5, got a not so good of a number, so we decided to do the second one. I think now that should be the one in Umeskia that happened last year in Thika, the Derika Shiundu Cup here. So we also had that going on, and our target was bringing in 150 boys, where we wanted to accredit each and every person the opportunity to try and realize, life a little bit better using certain concepts that we found out we've kept constant. The player and the game could grow in the, the realization of quality time. Yeah. Yes. Within our ingenuity and bringing them together. Yes, so we did that. We were raising 4.5, which we did, gave the scholarship. Unfortunately, we didn't get the 150 boys. Again, other dynamics that you learn when you're doing something. A number not above 47 of the boys were successfully able to go through the program, leading us to now our first product. We've never launched a product. We've done tournaments to help us test our thesis for the last 2 years. So now this should be our first year when we are launching our first product. thank you to our sponsors. Yes, so yes, we shall be launching our first product this year, which is the Safari Rugby Performance Vest that we want to give out for free for clubs to at least use, to see if we can actually end up having a situation where our rugby players are finding use and opportunities in the sport beyond just the 100 by 70 meter field. So yeah, that has been our walkthrough for the last 3 years. This should be our first product, but our third tournament. Yes.
Oh, now I get it. So it's tournament, but then you use the tournament to launch a certain product, or the scholarship, and now the vest.
Yes.
Would you say, how successful would you say the previous events have been?
On the scale of realization, I'd say 100%, because we've received support, big or small, which has been very sufficient to help us realize even the strides that you're trying to make. Because this year we are raising a figure 9 million to try and help us just fund the 300 boys and even the prototyping of the products that we intend to give for free to any person who registers for our tournaments. Yes, so yeah, it has been very successful, even in the scales and the sizes that we've experienced and encountered over the previous years. I'd say that the success rate has been 100% for me.
You know, when I'm having this conversation with you, Najiuliza, you see, it's either you are an investor, you badly love that thing, or you also badly want to change a lot of things about that thing. So for you, or for Safari Rugby, where did all this start from, and why are you guys consistent in wanting to change the life ya wachezaji? Because okay, we are coming from a setup where it doesn't happen oftenly. Not many people take care of the player, but you guys have devoted that whatever we are going to do, we want to make sure that at the end of it all, whoever benefits the most is the main stakeholder, because the players are the main stakeholders.
Well, personally, for me, I think it's about time we have the right kind of people in the right kind of spaces. Mambo ya kuwana, okay, sawa, you are helping, but what are you helping? Are you helping someone else make the money? You know, are you helping somebody else do better? Yeah. Statistically speaking, we have over 5,000, plus the number is bigger in the number of transitions and the people that we end up recruiting in the sport of rugby. We are growing, yeah, but unfortunately the players are not growing as much. The opportunities with regards to the number of clubs that you can participate in, they're not so promising. Some of them are only available in Nairobi. You know, the other one, if you want to go to Kabras, you have to think of ways that you can go and get closer to Kabras so that you can participate, which is an amazing opportunity, by the way, what they do. So yes, trying to absorb the number of casualties, because that is our biggest driver. We cannot continue having people who are right for the job, right for everything, but in all the wrong spaces, and countering all the worst, realizations of their predicaments. So we're just trying to step in and see to it that we do not have as many casualties. Yes, let us have a national sevens, unit that is supporting us. We've actually partnered with even players in the space to see to it that at least we are trying to paint the right picture. Not everybody will get the opportunity to be among the 12 boys that get to transition and travel. Not everybody will get to be on the list of 23 players, but you're talking about the percentage is like 2.3% in a number 100%. So where do we take all these other boys? How do we use them? They are sons, they are brothers, they are fathers to kids. We need to just restore the honor of these players that are in the space. So that is my personal drive, is that at least now a wife, a mother, a daughter, a son, a brother can actually be able to say that with a lot of pride, they have a player in their family, so that at least we try to restore the honor and dignity of these boys, so that whenever you are doing something, we don't have to wait until it's too late. Yeah, mtu amepata injury, that's when you're trying to come up with certain things. No, we can try to do better. Rugby has demonstrated that it always has a pool of very intelligent and equipped demography of young, innovative people. So yes, let's bring them together with the help of Safari Rugby and our sponsors. Let us fund them. Yeah, let us realize these dreams. And even as we are launching our product, 99.9999% of that has been made by our players that go through our programs. So yes, yeah.
Most of these tournaments, I don't know whether it's by default or it's something that you had planned, have been hosted around Thika. I think the last Maori Sevens, most of these have been happening around, in rugby perspective, let's call it the central region. Does it mean, what does it say? Is it that for you, maybe you have never considered it central, you think it's still in Nairobi? Because anyway, Thika is easily accessible for anyone from Nairobi, anyone from Murang'a, anyone from, it can be easily accessible. Or rather, I think the other question should be, do you also plan to take it to those more rural areas, maybe let's think of Kakamega and other, is it an initiative you're planning to, because now people might think it's only for this region?
Yes. So to answer your question, we are open to go to every region. Yeah. The only thing, maybe just invite us. Tell us you want us to come. We will come. At the end of the day, what we are looking for is access to the player. Wherever the player is at, that is where we can easily access them. Now, our HQ is in Thika. So it's easier for us to test. Yes, explains a lot. And for the last 2 years, it has been like a try and error, because even the money, because we've been doing, you can notice from the amount of investment we've been doing, we started with 1.5, we did 4.5. This year we are doing 9. Next year we're going to do above and proceeds of even 112 M. So the idea is, Thika is closer to us. We would want to be every place, but Thika is the only closest place for us to try out this amazing, initiative. Yeah. So we are open. If anybody should feel the need to invite Safari Rugby, please feel free to reach out to us and invite us.
Let's talk about now the new product. We expect probably to hit ground with it from July 5th. I know the launching is supposed to happen and everything, but where we will test it, Sunny kutoka around 5th of July. Let's talk about the product, and also we can talk about the partners and people who have came on board for you to be able to realize now this new product.
So yeah, the Safari Rugby performance vest, yeah. As I mentioned earlier when I was answering.
You also need to be specific on the details. Kuna watu wanaweza kuwa wanaocha, yani wamelaunch vest.
No. It's a performance vest. We normally use it to collect performance data from subjects of study. In this case, can be a footballer, rugby player, or any person who is a subject of interest. Yes, so that is the vest you're talking about, not the.
Wana vest too, vest.
No. It's a performance vest, a GPS performance vest. Now, the product is going to be available from the 5th to anyone who performs and participates in our tournaments for free. We are not selling the performance vest. Yes, we have running costs where like a club would do 50 shillings for every vest whenever they want to enjoy certain privileges through our cloud. And so then maybe in those situations, someone should be inclined to pay, but it should be free for anyone who just wants to procure the thing for free. Yes. And our partners this year, I think I can just run through them. Savannah GPT, they have been very, very instrumental. They are our biggest sponsor in the year. So the other partner is the stakeholder, the player. I just want to say thank you, boys, for just being consistent in realizing these initiatives that we put in place. because they have been the engineers that we have worked with. They are very brilliant and talented. So they have been the boys that we're working with. So they are the other, people and partners that I can really thank. Yes, and I think the other one is my other very generous sponsor, Taraji Trust, who has been very, very supportive in helping me realize this vision and, just make life a little bit better for the rugby player. Yeah.
You said it's free.
Yes.
Can anyone get it? What do I need to do to make sure that are there any qualification for players? Or you just walk in and unasema nipe vest?
So one thing, you need to be a band. By a band, you need to be a group of 12 boys, and you at least need to be a rugby club. Under the Kenya Rugby Union, even better. You're trying to figure things out. This would be an AIDA, still better. The only bare minimum is that come register to our tournaments. Come just play. Come play in our tournaments. We are going to set you up on that. Yeah, just come. For the vests, the only bare minimum requirement is that you play in our tournaments, so that at least you can invest in your club.
How what's the number we are working around in terms of the vest?
12. We are doing sevens clubs for now. So we are doing 12 vests for every club that registers, and other equipment that enables the vests to be in use, like the access points that you'd want around the field so that you can be at a position of using them. So and other things. But yeah, 12 and equipment. Yeah, it's like 12 and change. Yes.
Let's say 100 clubs just register for the tournament.
Yes.
Are you still going to be able to provide the one? Those are 100 times 12 first every clubs.
Yes.
You can be able to sustain that
in that season, because the prerequisite is participating in our tournament. Now there is a cap. This year we're doing 16 clubs because we only have a slot for 15 games in our tournaments. We don't do the pooling where we just do like a knockout stage game. We only have 15 games. So we are looking for 16 clubs. So yes, we can be able to provide for every club that participates in our tournament based on now the entry requirement for 100 clubs wouldn't cut it for even playing a tournament.
People might be watching and say, this is a chance now. And then you find 100 clubs registered. Yeah. So you're doing 16 on the basis of first come, first served, or there are other
16 on the entry. We do not have a pool of who we prefer for them to be here. Anyone can register.
The first 16 teams to apply. Okay, to register.
You get the scholarship, and we proceed from there. Yeah.
Let's talk about the Maori 7, where I think now everything in terms of the GPS vest and everything will kick off. Besides the vest, anything up for grab for teams that are going to participate?
Yes, a lot. We have 9 million. Let me use the word itself.
So the vest, ziko kando, alafu the 9 million.
Bana. So the 9 million, again, academic scholarship. We need to have the ability to rapid prototype within ourselves without really bending our back so much. Manufacturing in our country right now is not on anybody's side. Yeah. So yes, we are getting funded, but we cannot use the money, 60% of the funds, in just compliance. So we are looking for people who can help us bridge the gap. And this is where the opportunity was coming in. Everybody who participates in the tournament gets the academic scholarship. We go through, you're taught what we need you to make. So you make that, then we pay you. We're not even taking you to any attachment. We will employ every person who comes out of the program, because again, we want to be at a position, because now next next year, we are doing the Maori sevens again. We are doubling the numbers. We shall do 600 boys. So that means that we need a bare minimum of 600 GPS vests. So now that is why we are doing this. So yes, please come as many as you can.
I think let's talk. So an easier breakdown is 16 clubs
Yes.
who want to be part of the Maori 7 this year. You register on your platform, and the platform is Safari Rugby.
.co.ke, which is going live this Saturday, I think at 4 p.m. So we shall be launching it at 4 p.m. as we are.
So by the time this show is running,
Yes.
that will be live. Yeah. So once the 16 teams register, I don't know, sijadi si wanajua tuko hapa. Once you register the 16 teams,
Yeah.
so you participate in a 2-day tournament.
1-day tournament.
It's a 1-day
One-day
tournament.
tournament. It's a walk-in, walk-out, get your scholarship, get your vest. Let's move on. Let's try again another
It's
year.
more of a knockout.
It's a knockout game. 16 clubs, 15 games. Yeah. So come in because we are trying to minimize the.
No, I'm trying to now understand how you guys are going to know who is eligible for scholarship. Because you see, someone who is 34, for example, we still have rugby players who are 34 years. Probably in his family life, mambo ya shule alimaliza say 8 or so years ago. But he still thinks maybe this is the tournament that probably can help him maybe get something from rugby. Because I know so many players who gotten nothing from the game. Probably the biggest thing they have gotten is networking, which you always say, as it's done now, that's the biggest thing you can get from the game. Decides to come back. Do you guys have a specific rules on who qualify for, or if just you're a good player, unataka scholarship, tunakupea?
Everyone. The scholarship is for everyone who participates in our tournaments. Everyone. Yeah. That's why we are standing in the gap.
Do you also, I know another challenge with scholarship is sometimes scholarship, kuna predetermined courses.
Yes.
Like whoever is organizing the tournament ashaamua ni scholarship ni za nini. Usikuje useme unataka kuwa veterinary, wanasema hiyo hatuna. So do you guys have specific courses that people can be able to get scholarship? Ama ni anything?
We do have specific scholarships that people can actually be able to use, yeah, and take. Our focus, again, as I mentioned, is empowering the sport. The most effective tool that we've realized has been of effect for us in the quality of good time is science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and sports. So those are the lines of scholarships that we are offering: computer science, robotics, prototyping, yeah, and software engineering. Those are the only scholarships that we are giving in the program. So if somebody is looking for veterinary, I'd advise visit your nearest TVET. You might be able to get the assistance you require.
Now that is out of the way, how many players get the scholarship? All the players who participate.
Yes, that's why the money is there. The problem for us has not been the funding. Last year we were doing 4.5, yeah? It was not for whoever comes and wins. No, everybody gets a scholarship. Everybody gets a scholarship. Just make your way to here. You get your scholarship. Learning is online, yeah? Self-paced. Please, just come on board, take your learning, go, and haina prerequisite. Everyone who participates gets the scholarship, but must be a player.
Must be. Now the technical bench hakuna kitu mmewapangia, au ni walete wachezaji
Patia shati.
one to them.
Honesty, si ndio? Yes, shati na pen na maybe, yes.
But maybe in the future pia mnaweza fikiria, because you might have a coach who would be interested in sports science.
Now for the coaches, remember, we are creating another avenue. Now we want to draw them not into the same cycle as you're taking the boys. We want to draw them into finding need, because them appreciating value for data. Now, a coach, instead of naming a team based on how he feels about the player, he considers the data. Who's faster than who? Yes, that is where we want to take the coaches. We don't want you guys, coaches, doing computer science. No, you are the coaches. You understand the game better. But now, let us avail certain things, areas of concerns that you can use to identify talent. Yeah, so that is where we are probably going to draw them so much into the appreciation of actual data collected from the efforts of improving the life of our player. Yes.
As I let you go, maybe ya mwisho, talk to anyone who plans to attend the 5th of July, Maori 7, give them the location, what they need to do to be able to access the location. Ndio pia wasikuje waseme huku tuambia kuna tickets, kumbe kuna tickets.
Boys. Yes, so first I just want to welcome you all and say thank you for the support that you've given me and the boys over the 3 years as we've been running the tournament. Asante sana na washukuru. Besides that, you're very much welcomed for the Maori Sevens. The date will be 5th of July. That will be now on the 7th month. So yes, 5th of July. Kickoff is at 9. Game it's a one-day tournament. So by 4:30 we should be done with the games. You are very, very much welcome. For the tickets, the VIPs are going for 2,500. For the regular, they're only going for 500 bob. So yeah, everybody can afford. Yes, venue is M-Pesa Foundation. Please carry your ID. If you don't have your ID, carry your anything that can help us identify you. So we are recording today. So as of today at
Lazima uambie identification document. Unaweza kuja na picha yake aseme
identification document, a passport, an ID card, driving license, yes, anything that can, yes. We have ample parking. So come, drive in. There's enough. There'll be enough food for everyone. Mko karibu sana. There'll be food. Yes.
But we are buying the food. See it sasa.
No. You're buying the food.
Sasa.
You'll buy the food. You will buy the food. Next time we'll try. Yeah, we'll try to make efforts. Yeah.
No, wacha watu wajilishe.
Sawa. Kumesemekana mjilishe, kwa hivyo karibuni mjilishe.
It's like any other tournament. It's only that you guys, your approach is different. See it, you kuja ushinde the trophy in just go. Like you have something sustainable.
Yes. Cause maze, najua, you know 10 or 12.
Actually, I'm getting out of the way. Ndio mtu asifikirie like there is something. No, it's like any other rugby tournament. It's only that these are the players after the year. Thank you.
Yes, so mko karibu sana. Yes, and please do not, if you have to carry a drink, we shall help you with bags that you can put in the drink, because we have compliance and because we'll be in an academy. Yes, there are things.
Drink.
I mean,
drink.
Alcoholic drinks. Please, if you must have one, must be very covered. Very, very covered. Yes, and you'll probably encounter challenges trying to get in with the alcohol. So if you can drink it before coming in, that should do you well. You're here to have a good time, not to sell the alcohol. So if you can have fun and come in your state, there's room for everyone. Yes.
So mtu anaanza kunywa.
Akuje na pombe. Ukikuja nayo tutakwambia uifiche. Kwa sababu, yes, it is against our
But if you can come and just enjoy the game, that's okay. Because now ukiambia pia wafiche, you don't know the level of
the size.
Yeah. Mtu anasema mtungi 4 ni ndogo kwake na yeah. But anyway, Mbugua, thanks for your time, and hope to see you on the Maori 7 on 5th of July.
So I'm excited. See you there.
Asante sana.
Yeah, and we shall have online tickets. So for online tickets, we have streaming. We are going to stream the game online. So we are going to have online tickets for anyone who might feel they still want to watch our boys, rumble, and tumble in the game, in the field. So yes, the tickets are going for 250, the online tickets. So asante.
Mtazamaji, kwenye ulimwengu wa michezo sio wawekezaji wengi ambao wanaweka visenti vyao ama hela katika makuzi ya talanta ya wachezaji, ila huyu ni Mark kutoka Savannah GPT ambaye anazungumza kuhusiana na uhusiano wake na Safari Rugby na makuzi ya hali ya wachezaji. Niko na mwekezaji ambaye atakuwa na tupa labda hisia zake kuhusiana na hii michuano ama mashindano ya Safari Rugby na labda pia kujihusisha kwake na hii michezo iko vipi. Kwa kujitambulisha tu, kwa sababu najua ndio mara ya kwanza tuko na wewe, hatuja have conversation on camera na wewe, labda kwa kujitambulisha kwa mtu ambaye anakuona kwa mara ya kwanza kwenye runinga yake, maybe start off with the introduction na labda your involvement kwa Safari Rugby.
Mwekezaji na sijabeba kamusi leo.
Yeah. Tunasikia mwekeza anaweka kitu.
Yeah, anashinda akiweka. So my name is Mark Kinuthia from Savannah GPT. Yeah, first question is how did I wind up here?
Yeah. But vile umesema Savannah, I think anytime you have conversation with the Jimbugwa hakosangi kumention. So even before I met you, nilikuwa najua the biggest involvement ya Safari Rugby, because anytime we have a conversation with him anataja.
Yes, so what is Savannah GPT? Let me start. Savannah GPT is AI for every Kenyan. Yeah. So our vision is every Kenyan being able to access AI-enabled services wherever they are. So how does this tie in with rugby? Well, through our research, we found out AI can be used to teach. Yeah, and one of the biggest needs that we see within, especially the rugby community, but all over Kenya, is when I'm playing this sport, is there something else I'm doing that is building my mind? Yeah, what if I get an injury? Do I have another skill I can fall back on? But because we know the schedules are really tight, can we create a platform in which they can log in, teach themselves something? Is it software development? Is it 3D printing? Is it prompt engineering using AI? Can we give them a platform they can teach themselves and therefore be able to have, we can say, a separate income stream? So if you're out of the rugby season, you're still earning a couple of coins on the side. And that is how we partnered with Safari Rugby. Personally, I'm passionate about men. I speak to men about issues of marriage, masculinity, ministry. So it was within my particular bent that I saw this as an opportunity where I can impact many more people than the small stage on which I'm in other sectors. And that is where then Safari Rugby comes in. Yeah, I have this platform, I have this product. Not only is the product of use to the men, but I can also inspire them. Some of them, maybe the game left them behind. Yeah, maybe they got an injury. Now they can't come back. Maybe they are feeling disillusioned and wondering, what will I do with myself? Which university will take me? Which college will take me? We'll tell them that is no longer a problem for you. Yeah, we will take whoever come in. We will teach you. We will train you. You'll use our tools, and you'll come out with an accredited diploma.
Nataka kujua ukisema ni AI enabled and everything, mambo ya kujifunza, unajua pia AI is relatively new to most people. How does it work? Once Safari Rugby wamesema these are the players that have participated in this tournament and we need them now to, these are the courses that you wanataka kufanya. How do we move from there?
Oh, it's very simple. We try to keep it as easy as possible. So first of all, simply log in with your email address. Yeah, no complicated. We don't need your birth certificate. We don't need your KCSE results. We don't need your shoe size. Just come, log in as usual, as if it's a Gmail account. From then on, select the course that you want to do. Nice and easy. Click Start. Yeah, the courses are broken down into modules. Each module has a recommended time with which to do it. Once you're done, there's a small assessment and then you keep going. So we try and keep it as simple and as straightforward as possible. Obviously, there are those who are struggling, and that is where the AI comes in, because we fused AI into this. If you're struggling, maybe you're like, I don't understand this concept. There's a little window there, you just type, I don't understand the concept of Python in frameworks. Please explain to me. And obviously, the AI is going to respond and tell you, this is what it is. You can actually prompt it saying, I do not understand this, explain it to me like a high school student. And it will change the wording and give it to you exactly at your level. So we are not in the process of kuchuja watu. Yeah, we believe every person has the capability not only to learn, but to teach themselves new skills. Yeah.
Any specific timelines on the courses unafaa umalize after how long? Because again, you said some of these rugby players, their schedule inakuwa very tight. Maybe involvement in clubs, rugby. They also have, the game is not paying them enough, or rather the game cannot sustain their lifestyle. Whether mtu ako na familia, whether is a young man anajaribu kupanga vitu zake, so he need to think of something else ya kufanya tu pata hii. Hata kama ako shule, for example, I know there are rugby teams that are now institutional based. Yeah. Ako na classes, normal classes zake, so he has to go through that and then come to Savannah kufanya mambo yake. Yeah. Do you have specific timelines ama ni mtu afanye tu mpaka ile siku anamaliza?
Yes, we keep it open-ended. Wefanya venye utafanya. It is recommended that you do 1 hour a day. Lakini we understand that cannot be possible. So if you can do 15, 20 minutes a day, hey, boss, si unaendelea. Yeah? The Chinese say, be not afraid of moving slowly, only be afraid of standing still. Do something. Yeah, usiketi hapo to get up, do something. Even if you take only 1 step every day, utafika.
How is it selling the idea to rugby players? Not rugby players, let's just say players, kwa sababu sometimes there are a good number of young men who move to sports because mambo ya masomo, they feel inayo imekataa, the only way is sports. Sasa na wewe umekuja tena ako kwa sports, unaanza kumwambia nao ukiwa kwa sports enda hii ya masomo tena. How has the experience been dealing with players and trying to convince them that hii kitu inaweza no inakuwa si rahisi, but experience imekuwa?
It's been largely positive. When you umesema, I was expecting pushback, lakini sio sana. Many of them already have come to the point where they realize I need to do something more. Maybe they have seen the experience of a colleague, someone who had to drop out of the circuit, and they realize, huyu jamaa anasafa. Yeah, if like one of the players just told me, I'm only 1 injury away from quitting. Yeah, so they already come to the realization, I need to have a backup plan. So what I'm doing is I'm feeding that need, that desire that they already see, that is, you must have a backup plan. Yeah, and this is one of them. Obviously, I'm not saying everyone is going to do software engineering or 3D printing or 3D animation, but the important thing is to have something else. We are firm believers that you are not created to do one thing for the rest of your life. Yeah, God gave you a whole set of gifts and talents and abilities that you can be able to use, productize, and therefore be able to sell and make a living for yourself. So basically, that is our sermon. Yeah, you are not created a single a human being with one single thing. Yeah, kila mtu alikuja na mkebe yake imejaa. Yeah.
Let's talk about the courses vile sasa mmeamua these are the courses that we want them to take, and not the conventional ones zenye ungesema sasa hizi ndio zinapatikananga. Hizi ni if you look at them, it's where the world is moving. Maybe ilikuwa the decision to decide hizo ndio mnafanya, ilikuwa advised na that, ama you just decided that these are things that these creatives, because players are creative, it becomes easier for them to study because already ni ma creatives, sasa just to bring their creativity in another aspect.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So we looked at, first of all, where is the world heading, but also secondly looked at what are our passions. Yeah, I'm a 3D artist, and therefore I'm thinking if you love being able to manipulate things in 3D, then why not? I do this for a living, partly the other hat that I wear. I can be able to teach this. Yeah. So when I started out, I started seeing, okay, not only 3D animation and visualization, we can do 3D printing. Now, 3D printing is a whole new world because it means that it doesn't matter whether, like you said, you're a creative or you're an analyst. If you can create something and print it, you have a product you can sell. Secondly, if you can code something and demonstrate that this web page works like this and there's a little thing going around, someone will be like, I want that skill, I can hire you. So it's not only innovation for innovation's sake, but also it's contextual. What is needed in Kenya? we believe this is needed in Kenya and it should be needed for a good long while.
Kutoka tu kuwa mchezaji wa kawaida na kuwa nahodha ambaye ameiongoza Kenya Sevens kwenye msururu wa raga ya wachezaji 7 ya dunia msimu wa mwaka 2024-2025 ambao umekamilika. Mchezaji wa kawaida na kuwa nahodha ambaye ameiongoza Kenya Sevens kwenye msururu wa raga ya wachezaji 7 ya dunia msimu wa mwaka 2024-2025 ambao umekamilika. Samuel Asati amekuwa na safari ambayo ni ya kusifiwa na wengi. Hebu sikiza hii story kuhusiana na safari yake na vitu ambazo ameweza kujifunza kutoka na mambo ambayo ameyashuhudia. First of all, it's been long bana. Last time we had a conversation, nyinyi mlikuwa Kenya Cup champions. It's been 2 seasons. So meaning the last conversation we have na wewe probably might be 2 seasons ago. But umekuaje?
Asati amekuwa sawa. Yeah, been grinding, yeah, putting in some work and playing in the world stage. Yeah.
Bana, acha nikwambie silently. I know once in a while mimi kuambia huko kwa WhatsApp. I've been nimefanya stories and I've been so proud of your journey. And I think nimekuambia mara kadhaa, not many time unaona consistent story say ame grind all through, and yeah, it speaks to your discipline. Sometimes pia superstar inaingianga mahali inachanganya mtu, but I guess maybe I don't know what has made you stay rooted kwa and I guess respect the game design yenye for so long. Not much controversies, umeweza ku-maintain this. Nini imekufanya? Because I know so many players when wanashindwa ku-maintain stuff.
For me, all through imekuwa journey of growth, and hiyo growth continue ticking my boxes pole pole, and hiyo journey imekuwa na resilient hapo ndani na hard work na sacrifices mingi. So I guess hizo ndio zinani keep going na kuni keep on the lane. Yeah.
Your biggest fan sahi anasemaje? You remember the last time uliniambia your biggest fan ni nani?
My family, I guess.
Yeah, it was your mom. So sahi anasemaje kuhusu the progress? I know your time actually tukibonga na yeye ilikuwa break through KCB probably a season ago. Huku umekaa sana.
Yeah, all through my mom has been my biggest fan. And coming through the years, my family now wako so rooted into it. Yeah, wearing the Asati jersey behind my back always keeps my family proud. And I know there are people who I have to please and I have to represent. So I guess hizo ndo vitu zinani keep on who keep pushing. Yeah.
Safi sana. Let's talk from the catching up now to about the real story. Let's talk about the I think this was your second season with the Sevens team after Challengers and then HSBC, but then nika transition to even you being the leader. Experience imekuwaje?
Experience into HSBC, yeah, it has always been a learning experience. Unajua hii life ukipita hii step kuna another step bigger than place umetoka. So imekuwa a great learning experience, plus the boys wamekuwa kini push and they have given me a better environment kwa lead. Yeah, I guess hiyo ndio imekuwa, plus we had our goal to maintain the core status, which to really have to work hard towards it. But vile World Series will disappoint, to decide to focus na whatever we can control. Na hiyo ndio tuna stick now. We wanna focus on Division 2 and work our way back to the core status. Yeah.
Anyway, hauna control ya whatever administrative decision inafanywa. Wewe yako tu ni kwa uwanja. When you talk about your the roller coaster, like you guys were unstoppable kwa Challengers, everybody came on board, even those people who don't watch much of rugby come on board. The team is doing massive things, because when Kenya was relegated, there's a group ya wase walisema it's done, maze hapa tutapiga miaka, but you guys mkaenda Challengers kuwakilisha and you made it back. So coming back kwa HSBC, mlikam with so many people on board and so many expectations. And then the first legs zikaenda mbaya. Pressure ilimao ikaanza come back. How did you guys handle your pressure?
After the relegation, the Kenya rugby went into a depression. state of rugby. So the rugby union collected a group of young players ambao ni sisi. We went kwanza na one goal qualifying to the Olympics, which we did, and hiyo ndio ilitupatia motivation enough. Playing in the Olympics, highest sporting pinnacle event in the world, hiyo ili bring in the morale in the boys, and now from the Olympics to the from the challenger to Olympics to now the co-status, we had the experience, playing in the Olympics with the big boys. Now in the series itself, now in the series itself, we have a challenge in the first legs, but to keep learning towards the end. Now the sport is unforgiving. Tulianza in the final legs ndio we had got our stability, momentum ilikuwa imepanda, getting into the finals in the Singapore leg, the last leg really showed what we can offer, but it was too late. Again, as I said, now we focus on the division 2, to gain back to our core status with the aim. Hapo ndio place tunataka kuwa. I guess hapo ndio place I feel tuna belong.
Kuna msee tu kuanisha na hiyo, kuna msee yusema and constantly mimi usema, mimi personally I always don't like bashing the players, because me wambia watu, you guys don't know how much some of these guys have to go through kwa hiyo uwanja representing the nation, because you know you get to have stories from whether in football, from whatever perspective, and then you realize players have to do with so much ndio donio national jersey. But kuna statement wase sasa wenye wamekuwa overtime wanapenda kuitumia, wanasema Kenya Sevens has always punched above its weight.
Yeah, that's very true. Kenya Sevens among the least funded teams in the world in the series, and with the least facilities we have, as you said, we're punching above our weight, but consistently, but still si ndio tumejiweka hapo. We've proved to the world not once not twice tunaweza play with the least facilities we have. So again,
you guys in your maiden season, madebut wengi, you made it into the final.
Yeah, with almost 8 debutants, we made it to the finals, man.
So if the guys, the administrative side wanaweza fanya what is need to be done, then probably we can't be your level.
Not even the administrative level. It's just to focus on the growth part, to have a clear pattern on the growth towards the senior side. Like people like me, people like other players, John Okoth and stuff, we've grown from the age grade rugby to the senior side. Now you see players like us playing in the World Series. There's no much to expect. We've seen it all throughout our growth journey. Yeah.
By the most of it, I think Wewe, Onyala, Okoth, there are a good number of players when you may come through age grade. Like you guys mulianza ikiwa chini. But sisi tunataka ukiwa mkubwa, uko high school ndio sasa tunakuja.
High school ndio nataka ku introduce to rugby. And that's I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Still high school rugby is competitive. But most players coming off rugby high school pia wanapotea to outside. That shows Kenya hatuna a clear pattern to tap the talent we have from high school. And now you see our players from high school tukiwa tap into other competitive side to our clubs. The Kenya sport, the Kenya rugby itaonekana kigrow.
Kwanza tusimamia hapo about the game huko nje. Let's talk about, would you say experience yako and how much you have come along the way kuanisha nao na Safari Rugby. Imefanya these guys wameona Sati is the perfect guy to talk to young coming up players. Like now unaweza simama mahali and you give a lecture about how you can be consistent in rugby. Do you think your consistency in rugby ndio inakupatia opportunities with watu kama Safari Rugby coming on board and maybe have conversation na other players?
Yeah, I feel my consistency in rugby, as I said earlier, the journey has been a journey of resilience. Na kumekuwa na hard work nimehave kuput in, nimehave setbacks zenye nimehave kudeal with, na hizo ndio I guess Safari Rugby imefocus more into. Seeing a player focus on hiyo time unakuwa knocked, unakuwa pinned to the corner, vile unaweza pull out na yeah, you come back to the society na you be a respectful and wase watakuwa wanaangalia kwa society. I guess hizo ndio values wame have to consider na I feel nime go through hizo vitu yeah, na ndio maana niko part of them.
Asati, from perspective ya player from the generation yako, because probably let me say, mimi naweza kuwa niko the previous generation, not as much, but because buda ukicheza mimi pia nilikuwa naona hiyo time probably happen, hakuna kitu inaweza niletea. But wewe sasa una interact, and I've seen so many players wa the current generation, hata kwa blood, kwa team mob sana za Kenya Cup. Their view about the game is so different na perspective ya wase wa kitambo. Nyinyi mkiongea, kwani what's the conversation around your peers about the game na mahali wase wanataka kufika? Because you know, perspective their previous generation was just play the game, kama utacheza sana Kenya Cup and that's enough. But you guys are beginning to think of, and also the paths are opening up. Wase kwenda nje. I think paths are, things have changed kwa game. So conversation with your peers iko hard.
For the main conversation ni an athlete, I believe this is what I believe. A complete athlete ni mwenye amejipanga with the after the life after the sport.
Yeah.
So with now the conversation among us ni kama hii sport aita what life after umemaliza. Kama unaweza enda huko nje ujitafutie better future, utafute uwekeze for after rugby. Hiyo even better for you. Now for us, now you have to focus on your studies. Masomo, ujipange, afterlife business, create connection with guys. Yeah. That's the conversation among our the new generation. Yeah. It's no, you see, mostly focus on rugby. Yeah. Kuna in the game na after the game. Yeah.
Would you say the game is giving enough to the player?
I believe the game is giving enough. Enough, not in terms of finances. Kuna hizo connections. Ukiwa in the sport, build your connections around na wase.
Because actually that has been the conversation kwa rugby. Unaambianga wewe buda tafuta networks. Hizo tu ndio zitakuokoa.
Yeah, ukiwa rugby tafuta networks. Hiyo ndio itakusave. Yeah, na plus build your financial plan strategically. Yeah, that's it.
In case kuje ndafanya nini?
Ukipata ido inaweza kusustain kusoma. Go for it. Yeah, study, build something greater for your life. Yeah, that's it.
For a moment, but hata sikuwa nakumbuka I'm dealing with an Olympian. Hey man, you see, it's the biggest sporting, hiyo ndio the highest level. Even the greatest of the greatest wanasemanga kama wacheza Olympic. I feel bado kuna kitu hajafanya. How is the experience in terms of, I don't know, you know where we experience different worlds. We experience the world hapa nyumbani, how we handle things, because consistently unacheza Kenya Cup and you engage with players pia wenye wanacheza local leagues, national sevens unacheza, you know, umeenda World Series, actually umeenda Challenger, umeona the organization there and the quality of teams there. Umeenda World Series, umeona the quality of teams there. And again, umecheza Olympic. Olympic is a different perspective because if Ireland, team yenye imekuwa relegated, for Olympics walimaliza. So it was like Olympic ina present a different ball games to everyone because hii ndio the highest na watu kila mtu ana give it his all. How would you explain these differences? And then the experience ukioanisha na locally on a scale of 1 to 10 tuko wapi?
On the experience, first experience iko top notch, yeah. And ukiwa huko you have to learn whatever is offered for you in your time. And the Olympic values, sacrifice, sportsmanship, teamwork, and peacefulness.
Whom experience different worlds from the Olympics to the World Series, World Challengers, and of course hapa nyumbani, the levels of Kenya Cup and everything. Some of the things that you may pick outside there unaweza sema ni gani, and of course pia watu wako interested kujua the difference. You know, sometimes tunaongeanga about the difference but you have not experienced them. Mimi naweza sema umeona vile team ya Ireland ina behave compared na yetu, but I have not experienced it. Hii ni observation, but wewe experience, you know the differences zenye ziko hapo.
In terms of the experience, of course that's world stage. Hiyo experience iko huko si same na yenye iko hapa home. That's hiyo ndio the highest event anyone want to play. So the experience huko iko top notch. Plus every team has their own team culture na whatever norms they stick to. So you pick whatever you think is helpful to you and bring it back at home and try to emulate it. Kind of work, stick by it. If it doesn't, continue with whatever worked for you.
Like bora wewe observe ni nini, and then you think of what can work back at home, unaileta.
Yeah, but there are norms that those teams stick by. That's teamwork, discipline, sacrifice. Those are things that are visible. Those are things I think will work for anyone. Plus discipline.
On a scale of 1 to 10, unaweza sema tuko wapi in terms of those levels?
Our national team level, we're really trying. At club level, you know, you have people from everywhere, so you still try to push around. But at national level, we're really trying. Yeah.
But we need to make sure now club levels may improve, because the clubs are the feeder.
Because to the national level, we bring in new players. I guess that's why most of the teams, even you see South Africa, New Zealand, they stick with a group of players, introduce one or two. Those are the guys who have really lived with hizo norms na hizo disciplines. Yeah.
Nice one, maze. But najua, what has changed personally for you, Sai? Unaweza sema, I know once ilikuwa probably before you travel na ndege, ilikuwa probably ni travel na ndege would surprise you before ucheze na hizi teams kubwa, would surprise you. But saa wewe umefika level yenye I don't think unaweza kuwa surprised na those things. But what has changed so much for you?
What has changed for me is Sai currently is I can speak to player from Team New Zealand, Team Fiji, Team South Africa, ask them what's working for them. Ask them, menda of season, or what is player is nini, like Kenyan players sisi tumekuwa coming off the World Series, we've been taken to the 15th side. Now even also speaking to the South African guys, they've also been encouraged to play the URC, because it's a long break period and you have to keep yourself busy. Ukika waiting for the pre-season ya sevens ianze, utajipata you'll struggle a lot.
So it's a good thing that pia like una compare notes sasa na watu. Previously unge have those conversations, but now this
and see hii period you ask around, hii period ndio inawakia. So by the time season inaanza utakuwa umewear out. Na hiyo ndio kitu pia unajiintroduce and keep your body in shape. As gym program from the player una watch up to. Hizo ndio vitu zinakuwa kia.
So sasa pia wanakuambianga what you know over time, like the South Africans wamecheza against Kenya Sevens for so long, so and they know what is working for us and what is not working. Wao share wanakuambia bude nyinyi msifanye hii, nyinyi fanyeni.
They do share to us, encourage us even because in the World Series we are only two African sides. So anytime Kenya is playing, South Africa and cheering. Anytime we play, South Africa is playing, we cheer for them. Hiyo ndio motivation. Plus other teams also do same to us.
Before we used to hear stories that the closest team to Kenya Sevens ilikuwa ni akina Fiji. Perspective imechange. Who would you say ni the closest rival yet mnaweza, because I saw kuna time pia mlikuwa na I think ilikuwa inafaa kwa captain's run, but sema ya friendly with NZ, ilikuwa na NZ mkacheza, so then I also wanted kusema so probably NZ sahi ndio the closest.
Huko in the World Series Fiji are our closest friends because I think we share almost the same troubles, the same challenges back at home. So Fiji are our closest friends.
Easier correlate now.
Yeah, but hizo games, you ask a team for a scrap game, they'll give.
Hiyo si eti hakunanga tu ati ni nini, hiyo ukiongea tu na mtu.
Yeah, that's it.
How would you say, what's one thing we'll say about the current, vile hiyo squad mlikuwa, young players, mlikuwa mnaonekana kulikuwa tu na very different vibe. Ni nini ilikuwa imeleta hiyo vibe ya, did you guys had each other's back?
Yeah, it's because we had a common goal, as I said. We came after we got relegated, the crop of players that was brought into the squad. We really gelled together, focused on ourselves, and the unity among the squad has really played a big part to us. I know I'll watch your back, you'll watch mine. Yeah, I'll cover you, you'll cover me. Yeah, that's what has worked for us.
Kuna mtandao sasa, kuna makocha wa mitandao au sasa kwanza ni wengi, and I don't know whether most of them wanaongenga from position of privileges or anything, but maoni iko, and actually you're not going to stop them. Hizo ziko wao wanakuchongoa, wengine wanasema hata uwezi fanya sijui nini. You guys, how do you deal with these pressures? Because you know, wewe uko online, most of the Kenya Sevens players sahi wako online, wako X, wako wapi, so unaona hizi vitu, and actually it's not good to filter them. Wacha uzione, because that's ni Kenya na feel, and then kesho unafanya kitu poa tena, huyo pia anasema kitu kingine poa. But how do you guys deal with hizo? Sometimes it trolls pia zinaweza kama una strong personality inaweza kuingia and then iku affect.
A funny thing, sorry to say, our Kenyan fans are so entitled. It's not a bad thing, because they keep us going. So I'm not saying
wakisikia mmepewa sponsorship wanasema hiyo pesa yote na haezi.
Yeah, as I said, they are entitled. It's not a bad thing. It keeps us going. Now, for us players, we are strong physically. Now coming to the mental bit, we have a mental coach. I believe we are not sort mentally. It helps us. It helps us sort hizo in banter, social media, whatever. Yeah, and tunabianga the young boys, kama it's too much for you during tour, just install the app. Yeah, you'll be okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much for making time to talk to KUTV. First of all, take us through what is happening right here. I understand this is the jumping team, so you'll give us some insight about when was this team formed until where we are today, even as we forge a very fruitful conversation with you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, my name is Lydia Swani, and I'm currently the president of Kenya Jump Rope Federation. Yeah, jump rope sport in Kenya started way back in 2010, and it was introduced by an American world champion who went to Tanzania, introduced the sport, and then he came to Kenya and his quest was, he was looking for a way for the sport to be competed in East Africa. So that was in 2010. So by 2011, we were able to represent Kenya at the World Championship in US. Then 2013, again, we took a bigger number, again in Florida, US, and we were position 3 after US and France. 2015, again, we were able to represent Kenya in US again, and we won 42 medals. Yeah, 2017, we went to Norway, where again we were position 3 out of after US and France. And then that was our last World Championship in 2017. And then 2028 we couldn't make it. 2018 we couldn't make it. 2019 we tried, couldn't make it. 2020 we were supposed to go, but we didn't make it again because of Corona. So we did it virtually, and we became position 3. And then 2021 and 2022 to 2023, we missed all the World Championship due to financial support. And 2024, we were the only African country to be invited to the Olympics in France. Unfortunately, we didn't make it. 2025, we are aiming the World Championship in Japan. I hope this time round it's gonna work.
Okay.
Thank you.
And before we talk about the World Championship and the upcoming events,
Yeah, yes.
so when did the passion begin for you?
Yeah, thank you so much. So, well, it's a bit long story, but to cut it short, so I'm a former. So many people know me as a soccer player, and they have seen me in so many fields. I'm a former, the best player. Oh, every year when I was in Butere Girls, and after that I was able to play Kenya Premier League. I was able to one day go to the camp of national team, but I didn't make it with the team. And then at some point I started feeling gaps. Like I felt like there is so much gap in me that soccer or anything, like nothing was fulfilling the gaps in me. And I had to pause. And of course, with women's soccer years back, we had so many challenges going on, and so you had to be very careful of like, do you continue doing it or you have to venture into something else? So at first, I ventured into coaching, soccer coach. So I coach. I'm a member of the Soccer Africa Academy in Atriva, the founding members. I'm part of that. But again, I still felt so much gaps in me and void. And I was like, then I need to listen deeper. So for me, it was more of like finding my own and also just my identity, because I realized at some point that I had developed a false identity, like being the Luis, Messi, like Ronaldo, and outside the field of sport, I'm a nobody. So I wanted a real identity, and I was like, let me try this God. Like I have never been serious with the guy. So I'm like, God, do you have something for me? Like, is there something that I can use to actually bring hope in my community? So yeah, I can say for me, he spoke. And then like during 2020, that was the year. That was the jackpot year for me. So I'm online and I'm searching like, God, please show me something that I can use to bring hope in my community, to safeguard the kids in my community, because the community I come from, Gidurai, don't have spaces, like sports spaces, and we have almost million kids. So I'm like, these kids, like in 2050, I can visualize, and I'm like, what kind of individual are these? People who are not playing in school, they don't have PEs, they don't have spaces to play, and also like social skills and their mental health. So I was like, I'm looking into something that can really bring hope and enhance a whole person. And then, yeah, so I learned about jump rope online. So in YouTube, I come across jump rope, and I'm like, I want this thing, but it looks scary actually. And then like with every day following it and passion to just learn, like who is doing this and where is it? Where was it started? Then I came across the national team of Kenya that was in existence, but at that time they were not a registered federation. They were operating as an association. Yes, so I joined them, started training, and a year after year I had like 200, 300 kids like coming, and we are jumping, and I'm like, then this thing, I have to uplift it to some level. I don't want people to just jump and go home. Like, what is in this thing? So I was so curious, and also just coming out of sporting environment, I know the importance of sports. Like, even if you don't make it as a professional player, there are so many important nuggets that sports bring into someone's life, like social skills, like traveling, like knowing yourself, knowing how to handle and work with people. So those are some of the things I was like, if they don't end up being anybody's like professional athletes, at least I want to mold them into productive individuals. So that is how the journey was started along with me. And then I learned that this sport is huge on the other side. Actually, it's only Africa where the sport is still very Like the sport has very minimal attention in Africa, but the other continent, the sport is huge. So when I'm looking at those continents, I'm like, people have already laid a foundation for us, African and Kenya. Like for me, it's Kenya and then Africa. So I'm like, then if people have laid that, we need to be there and maybe climb higher. So now I started training the kids like professionally. And as we speak, the kids have trained for the last 4 years. 10 of them are in the national team under 15. Yeah.
Right. And how many categories do we have in this team? Because I can see it's a blended version. We have young kids as low as under 15.
Yes.
Then we have the senior squad. I can see majority who are over 18.
Yes.
So how many categories do we
Yeah.
have, and what criteria do you use to select the team?
Oh, nice. Thank you. So, yeah, for us, I think the youngest kid I've ever coached was 4 years. So we start from any age, like any age that a kid can take a rope and jump. So 4 years, 5 years, others start at 6, and I started when I was 27. So it's not like we have an age limit for starting or for stopping. But right now in Kenya, we have age group U8, under 8, that is. We have under 10. Then we have under 13, under 15, and then under 18. And then we have 19 to 20, that's the elite. And then the masters start from 30 plus. Yes, but at the World Championship or international championships, we normally have U9, U15, and then U19, and then U18, sorry, then 19 plus, so 19 to 29 category, and then 30 plus. Yes.
Okay. So take us through some of the rules. Is it, girls separate, boys separate, or is it a mixed version of it? Because this is to many, just like I say, these are very new sports to many.
Yeah.
What we used to see is just a normal game that you can just do physical exercise
Yes.
and enjoy yourself.
Yes.
But today, for men who are watching us right now, will be learning for the first time that this is actually a competitive sport.
Yes.
So how do you go about it in terms of the level of selection that you have just mentioned, then the one and twos about the games in terms of rules.
Okay.
How do you compete actually in this
Thank you.
jumping rope?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, a lot of people actually know skipping rope activity. Like if you ask, how many people have ever jumped? It's almost the entire room. But when you ask, how many people know that jump rope is a sport? It's almost none. So like our activity is familiar, but the sport part of remain unfamiliar. And thank you for that question, because I normally like it, because I want to address how this is a sport. So jump rope has no age limit, 1. 2, jump rope has, it's an inclusive sport, whereby both boys and girls compete on the same stage. Like World Championship, it's combined, boys and girls. You can as well make a team of a relay team with mixed, so it's allowed. If you can take girls relay, for example, take boys relay, and then take a mixed team where like you mix boys and girls to make one team. We compete on the same stage, so we don't, like, boys don't compete on their own stage and then girls on their own stage. It's on the same platform. So that's one. The rule of the game, we have so many rules. They apply actually better when someone is doing it, but I'll try to explain. So one, this is an indoor sport according to the world standard. But because we don't have indoor spaces in Africa or in Kenya, we decided to jump anywhere. So this is an indoor sport. It's classified as an indoor sport. 2, maybe I'll let you know that in jump rope, we have 3 elements. The fitness element, the one we were doing. And then we have the entertainment element that we did in the conference room. And then we have the sport element. So maybe a little bit of the sport element. So in sport element, we have different discipline in jump rope. For example, we have individual sport and team sport. One of the individual sport is called single rope speed sprint. So the shortest, or maybe the most competitive part of that is 1 by 30 seconds. So one person has 30 seconds to jump with the feet alternating one after the other. Not like two, but one foot after the other. So you go, like it's like sprinting on the spot. So you have 30 seconds to go as many as you can. And then you stop at 30 seconds, and then the judges will tell you how many scores you have. But at the international level, actually, you have the sensor flow, whereby when you tap, it is reflecting on the screen so that people who are watching, the layman, can actually cheer you because they are seeing your scores counting on the wall. So that is one event. The same event, we have relay for the same event. So 4 by 30 seconds. 4 by 30 seconds. It's like athletics now, the athletics version. So 4 people on the same line, you have agreed who is starting first, second, third, and fourth. So each of them is going for 30 seconds. And then at the end, they tally the total, and then they will know which team is leading. You can either, depending on the number of teams, you go for preliminaries, then quarters, semis, and then finals. So that is just one example of how we do that. And then we have the longest one goes for 180 seconds. That is 3 minutes. Yes. So we have 3 minutes sprint on the spot with the rope. And then the last, maybe the last 2. So we have double unders. So you see, you jump a little bit higher, then you turn the rope twice before you land consecutively for 30 seconds. That's an event on its own. It's in a relay form. Then the last one, the best one I love, is the triple unders. So you have the stage, you have your rope, you turn the rope 3 times before you land consecutively. That one is the last man standing. So when you drop off, they just count for you. And then that is the end, yeah. So we have the same events so I only talked about the single rope, but we have the double dutch. Are you able to retell what that is? So double dutch is where we have 2 ropes being turned by 2 people at the same time, and 1 or more jumpers are jumping inside. Yes. Yeah.
And now let's talk about now the game itself.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a game is being played in a society that in most cases, this is not one of the games that they will consider to be, well known, or even a game that can bring benefit to the athletes themselves.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the reception outside there.
Yeah, well, that's a nice question. Actually, we are where we are because the community reception is really low. Actually, everywhere we go, everybody asks, like, have you been in existence? And like, yes, we've been here for almost 15 years. And people are like, yeah, because of the reception. So I can say like a jump rope or skipping rope is not yet received or given the same attention as the other sports. And to some point for me, it's a good thing as well as bad thing. Because a good thing, one, because we have time to blend and make it. Because for me, one of the goals I have, having been an athlete who have gone through so much, there is a way I would love to see federations being led in the country. So for me, the reason I'm saying it's good that the reception is still low is because we have time to actually build a better federation. Like before, everyone is everywhere coming in and out. So we have time to build a better federation with good structures. But the bad side is, one, without reception, we coach these kids and then they lose morale because when their parents don't support them, then you can't take them to competition. And the reception by even the ministry, for example, is very low. That means like we have missed on 5 crucial events. One happened last month in Norway. We were invited. We couldn't even like just try because we knew nobody will support. We have another one coming in Sweden. We've been invited. We're like, because we don't have so much support, let's just let it go. And then we have other events coming, but we are like, how are we able to make it to those platforms, to compete, to take our kids to those international platforms where they can compete. So that is the negative side of low reception, because now we don't have support even from the parents themselves, even though they know that this thing is actually taking their kids from the streets. It's giving them like like a like a focus point, like they are safe, like it's something that is creating safe spaces for their kids. And no longer, like, parents are no longer calling me. I can stay with their kids the entire day without a call. Now they feel it's a safe space. But when it comes to like support your kid, we want to go to like Nakuru. It's like 4 rope skipping. No, I can't give you the money just to go and jump rope. So like it's still, the reception is still very low, and we are hoping and praying, like through media like you. I know you reached out to so many people, you cover a lot of people. So I'm very sure that through you and other people and other supporters will be able to reach uh, a bigger margin of people, and also like start getting and winning trust, because people still relate our sport with Beverly gun. So it started with the Beverly gun thing. So when you say skipping rope, that is what comes to their mind. So when you say let your kid pay a little bit for this, and they're like, no, we've gone to schools just to introduce jump rope, just like any other sport, because this is a sport that will not only enhances career, but even the fitness, the mental health. It's like it's a sport that nurtures a holistic person in one. And the biggest thing about it is that it's now a career. Like you can go to any country right now and coach and earn. You can be a judge, a professional judge, and you'll be paid. Like this year is the first ever World Championship where judges are being paid. And every country that is doing jump rope, you are given opportunity to take judges to the World Championship, and they'll earn money. So this is a career, but not yet received well. So yeah, it's sad, it's bad that people only view sports in the country as I wouldn't mention because it will be a bias, but we have only few sports that people regard as sports, but others have been pinned down. But you know what? We are not giving up. We are coming. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and you mentioned about something that is very important, the support, especially from the government. When you see, let's call the national team, the national football team, we have the Kenya Athletics, you know, being facilitated to go out and carry Kenyan flag. And when you make requests and you get rejection, how do you feel as a coach?
Yeah, my saddest moment as a coach and as a federation president was last year when we were invited. The only Africa, like even the world president made sure that he mentioned that in our invitation letter, that this is the only African country that is coming to benchmark for Africa, that is coming to teach the world and go back and teach Africa the sport. But I think nobody read it. Those people, we submitted all those things, but nobody read it. However, it was the saddest moment where I have no control. Like, have you ever reached a point where you feel like you don't have control over this and then you have to let it go? So it was the saddest moment for me. I feel bad because there is no difference between a jumper and a footballer, because those two are achieving the same thing for the country, for themselves, for their communities and their families. So my prayer is like, if our ministry, if anyone who loves sport out there can look at other upcoming sports as important as other sports, we will really move, because sports has potential to actually employ so many youth in this country if they are given the same attention and support as other sports. Yes.
All right. And even as now we wind up, let's talk about this upcoming event. So even as you talk about the projection this time round, so how far are you guys in terms of preparation?
Yeah, I'll say preparation are ongoing. The athletes are training. Like the training is every day happening in the hood. So we are hoping by the end of May, we will have our final list. And I'm very sure, and I'm like 100% sure that given an opportunity, we can take more than 20 athletes to participate in the World Championship, this year's World Championship. However, the number will depend on how much we will be supported with. And so like right now we have already selected the first bunch of players, and then from there we are going to have the final selection, I mean, of the team that will be making it according to what will have will be in the kitty at that time. That's why I can't tell how many players will be able to take to the World Championship, but I'm praying that we get the support so that we can take as many as possible. And then, okay, with the dates, we haven't settled on the dates at when we are doing the selection day. Yeah, but it is somewhere in May. I'll let you know. Yes. So we submitted our budget very early at the ministry. And we are hoping that this time round it's gonna work out. But also we are also appealing to anyone who can really come in, because I know how ministry works. They can actually fund you when you are already at the airport. And right now we are supposed to have registered players, so we have to send our registration fee already. We have to send our accommodation. So we have up to the end of this month to pay our accommodation for hotels in Japan. So those are some of the things that we need to be working on even prior the support we are expecting. So yeah, so I'll say we are very optimistic that this time round we are going to represent our country. The countries are really working very hard. Countries are really working very hard. I saw the double Dutch relay world record right now. Girls from Sweden. And I'm looking at that, I'm like, we need to catch up. We need to catch up with those ladies because they have been consistent. I think for us, it's more of the consistency that has been making us like drop off and then come back, drop off and come back. But if we get even 1 year of just support and attention, I'm telling you, like, the whole country will turn around and support jump rope because it's a sport to watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is the final one.
Yeah.
For those who are watching you and they are very interested, so where can they find you guys? Where do you train? Where are you based? You know, where is your residential camp?
Yeah.
Those questions, just answer for them pretty quick.
Oh, thank you. So if you want to find us, one, we have different communities where we do the sports. So one of the communities in Kibera where the sport started. The second community is in Gidurai 45 at Mwiki Primary School. Another space that we have, and we thank God so much, is the partnership we have with KU. So Kenyatta University offered us a space, and this is our space. So this is another space where we train. I train also like KU Jump Rope Club here. So we had a hinge somewhere, and we couldn't like follow up with the team, but now we are back. So we will be training at least twice a week, and this is the training ground. This is called Bishop Square. It's the training ground. Also, we have partnerships with different schools where we go and train their own kids. So we have teams located in in different places, especially in schools. But we don't own the school. But one of the greatest opportunity we have is KU Model School. We volunteer to coach the kids at KU Model School, and for them, they have given us a space to coach people jump rope. So yeah, all are welcome. Jump rope has no age limit. When we go for World Championship, Kenya have never taken a master's stage. That is 30 plus. But we meet with people from China, America, bringing their 60 plus people. Let's do this, Kenya. We can do this. Also, just one more. We have Africa Speed Challenge going on. We want to see how many African can really participate in this. So if you are watching and you want to participate, please just take a video of yourself doing speed, either jumping on 2 feet or alternating jogging steps for 30 seconds only. Hashtag Africa Jump Rope Federation. Thank you so much.
All right, asante sana, and thank you for making time.
Thank you as well, and thank you for covering us. This is actually the first ever media to cover us, so I'm excited.
Brian Tichi anaingia kwenye vitabu vya kumbukumbu akiwa kocha ambaye ndani ya miaka 50 ya kuwepo kwa timu ya raga ya chuo kikuu cha Kenyatta Black Blood RFC. Brian Tichi anaingia kwenye vitabu vya kumbukumbu akiwa kocha ambaye amefanikisha mafanikio mengi sana akiifunza Black Blood RFC. Kwenye urejeo wa kipindi ama makala maalum ya Mwanaspoti Matata, tunaangaza kurunzi yetu kwenye safari ya Brian Tichi Rotich. Tazama, ndani ya miaka 50 ya kuwepo kwa Black Blood RFC, ndio kocha ambaye Brian Rotich utaingia kwenye historia ama kumbukumbu za historia Black Blood, kuwa kocha ambaye ameleta mwamko mpya na kupata mafanikio na kikosi ambacho kinapata msukumo ama kifedha bado ni finyu, lakini unaingia kwenye kumbukumbu. Brian Rotich, unaweza kumbukumbuka siku ya kwanza ambayo uliguza mpira wa rugby ilikuwa wapi na ni kwa nini ulitamani sana kucheza huu mchezo?
Nadhani ilikuwa 2006 Maseno School. I think nilijoin rugby juu ilikuwa related na wale watu tu vichwa ngumu, so wako wanaanda na ma-prefects nini, so I think hiyo ndio ilimotivate, na I think nilikuwa hiyo for the year 2006 nilikuwa the first fresher kujua kupass ball, which I think ndio kitu mimi kuwa proud of up to now.
So ni kama unasema kwamba wewe pia ulikuwa mtu ambaye ni mkorofi. Sasa ulikuwa unatafuta a way out ya kujiprotect.
Kwa kiwango chake nilikuwa hivyo, so na ilinisaidia sana juu wakati huo kulikuwa na zile corporal punishments from prefects and all that, so sikuwa able to encounter that juu nilikuwa mentored na watu walikuwa wamelearn hiyo trade, so ili make life easier Maseno.
Unaweza kumbuka the first move ama kitu ya kwanza ulifanya na ball ya rugby ukiwa hapo Maseno? Uche presume by hapa ni ulikuwa form 1, form 2?
Nilikuwa form 1.
Form 1.
Yes. I think kitu ya kwanza nilirusha juu. From hapo sana nikaanza kufunzwa pass juu coach yote time alikuwa house master wetu Mayor House, Mr. Masime. I think ni ndo nakumbuka kwa coaching career ya mine, alikuwa a very good coach, so from hapo akaniambia mimi ndo nitakuwa na represent fresh first year huko Maseno School wa Mayor House, na that's how I came to be the first person to know how to pass, and by form 2 we got my break into the team.
From my understanding, huu mchezo wa rugby ukiupenda kuna vile mtu mpaka unapanga, unasema nikitoka shule ya msingi nataka niingie shule ya upili fulani kwa sababu nataka nicheze rugby. Nikitoka hapo nataka niende chuo kikuu fulani kwa sababu nitapata rugby. Yako ilikuja tuseme kuanzisha uhusiano wako na Black Blood ni kwa sababu ulikuja chuo kikuu cha Kenyatta. Did you feel kama ni kwamba umetimiza kitu ulikuwa unatamani, ama mentally kuna kitu kingine ulikuwa umepanga ambacho
I think mi hata kupatana kwanza na rugby kwanza mi nilikuwa shule zingine huko vienyeji, so nilibahatika kupatana na hiyo sport, then nikaipenda, nikakuja nikacheza, then tukakuja KU. I think tulireport KU nadhani May 4th, and then May 7th nilikuwa nimemake first team KU. Tulikuwa tunacheza against Homeboys, nikamake hiyo starting squad, na hivyo ndio I don't think niliaitoka kwa hiyo team up to the time nilitoka Blood 2015 after graduation. Homeboys ndo akaniita. As at now kitu naweza sema I think nashukuru Mungu sana juu I don't think place nimetoka ama story ya mine ile siku story ya mine itasemwa ni grace tu imenitoa kutoka huko mbali up to now.
fast forward, vitu mingi sana zimefanyika. I think mimi nimekuona ukichezea Black Blood, Homeboys, kuna time pia ulikuwa Kisumu, Impala. So hapo kulikuwa na a lot of changes. But where would you say, ni ama ni wapi ambapo unaweza kusema hapa ndio sasa my rugby ilibadilika kabisa? Ile rugby kuna kitu ambacho nilijifunza hapa ikanibadilisha sana, maybe compared na wakati ulikuwa unaanza.
I think from kutoka Maseno, the first place I played ilikuwa Kisumu, trying to get to Kenya Cup. Nilikuwa hiyo team actually ilikuwa 2011. Ilikuwa club rugby, so the first time nilifika huko, huyo coach kuona venye nilikuwa na pass, venye nilikuwa na tackle, akani draft into the team, na nashukuru sana for hiyo opportunity. The next phase nilikuja KU hiyo May, so coming to KU, so hapa ndio nilikuwa nasomea, so long holiday nilikuwa narudi nyumbani Kisumu, so nikirudi Kisumu I used to play for them, but place I think life ya mine will change concerning venye naangalia rugby. Ilikuwa tulimaliza tu hivi hapa campus hiyo 2015. I didn't expect to like go on, kumbe apparently Homeboys rugby ilikuwa ime-identify kuwa kuna some talent huku, so wali ni call up nikaenda Homeboys, na I think hapo ndo mindset yangu how nilianza kuview rugby, nikaanza kwenda gym and all that ili change. Mindset ya coaching I think ilikam nikikuwa Impala.
Kwenye maisha mtu huwa anapatana na watu ambao huwa wanabadilisha mtazamo wako kuhusiana labda na mchezo wa rugby, mtazamo wako kuhusiana na maisha. Wapo watu kama hao kwenye maisha yako?
I think kuna one coach Saimo. Coach Saimo alikuwa very pivotal in the way, yani venye nilienda Homeboys alinipick up, yani akanimenta, akanishow, so mi huadmire sana, mi huadmire venye ana work, venye ana relate even na young players. Yeah, I think ni one of the mentors wenye ndakuwa forever grateful for them, because hao walichange venye nacheza, venye na view game. Again nikaenda Impala, kuna coach mmoja wa most anakuwaga age grade development anaitwa Olos. I think yeye pia ni one of the people wenye through interaction yake na mimi, I think I got to learn a lot on how to probably handle teams and so many things about rugby, which I think niko grateful for. For players, there is one player by the name Oscar Yodi. Hiyo time I think tulikuwa na KU, but yeye alikuwa national team, so alikuwa humble enough kukuja training hapa kutufunza, kutrain na sisi. I think he really has a lot of knowledge on rugby. Pia alikuja akakuwa of help sana tu.
Fantastic. Yani umemention watu ambao ni watu ambao kweli kwenye rugby wamekuwa pivotal sana, na kwenye makuzi pia ya talent ni watu ambao wameonekana kwa sana. Wewe uko active kwenye mitandao ya kijamii?
Yes.
Wapi specifically?
Lakini kuona tu, kuangalia tu na labda kucheka. Instagram, Twitter. Nilitokanga Facebook for some reasons.
Nice. Kama uko very active kwenye mitandao ya kijamii constantly for the last one season or so, or the better part of this season, kuna semi nyingi sana kwenye mitandao za kijamii hasa kuhusiana na Black Blood. Kuna watu ambao si mashabiki wa Black Blood lakini wanafurahishwa na kitu ambacho Black Blood wanafanya. Kuna wengine ni wapenzi tu wa rugby ambao wamekuwa kuipenda Black Blood, na unapata kwamba wanazisupport timu zingine, lakini wanapata kwamba kitu ambacho mnafanya hapa kinawapa, ni mtu anataka pia kuassociate na nyinyi. Inakufanya usikiaje kama ukiwa kocha kwamba kuna wapenzi wengi sana wa huu mchezo ambao wanapenda vitu ambazo mnafanya?
I think inakuwa tu a very humbling experience. Kwanza kuna time hata unaweza tembea hapo shuge pata wase hata ujui tu ati coach game iko lini, chess ko kazi mzuri, hao watu watatu wajui. So ni something very humbling, na I think we thank God for the far we've come. It's been a journey, maybe 3 years down the line tulianza hiyo time ku dream, so probably from last season to this season tuna live your dream, na tuko very grateful sana to God and the players. I think mi nawaambianga hivyo, so hata msaki niambiaga ati well done coach, mi hapana, naambiaga I think credit to the players, it's them that play. Miki tunafanya tu ni probably try to get into their minds to be able to wapeane that which they can, the best of them, so mi wa influence too to like realize their potential. I think hiyo ndo tunafanyaga, but most of the sacrifices, the hard work, ati ni hao vijana ndo wanajikaza.
Mazuri yanafanyika, yanawaleta mashabiki wengi sana, lakini pia inaleta macho ya watu wengi sana. Kwa hivyo ile siku unateleza kidogo hivi, pia kuna kuwa na semi nyingi sana. Huwa inakupa pressure kwamba Black Blood imebadilika ndani ya misimu mitatu miwili na kuwa timu ambayo inaingia kwenye mechi za mchujo ama zile playoffs za Kenya Cup. Kuna talent, tumetoka kutoka zile enzi za kukuwa tu participant. Sasa watu wanaiangalia, watu wana look forward kwa baadhi ya mechi ambazo Black Blood inacheza, lakini kuna wakati pia unateleza. Huu inakupa pressure kwamba watu wale tu mashabiki watasemaje?
Kwanza from the venye tulianza tu kuperform, unajua results zinakujaga na pressure, so venye tulianza kuperform watu wanaanza kutufollow, so already hiyo ni pressure juu tumebuild expectations kwa watu. So me will try as much as possible to make the players realize kuwa place tuko sahi, see it's not the normal place, people expect things from us. Hata ikuwe tumetrain ama tujetrain, people expect something from us. So and me will try as much as possible to sacrifice, to make them push to the next level, na most of them wanna respond, na most of them they buy the dream. Na I think as we continue moving forward, we hope this season pay to come in a big way. Hopefully if we're able to make it to the playoffs, we really pray that pia to be able to make it to the semis this time, because tumekuwa huko, so once beaten the next time start na have kukuwa better guys. So if we get an opportunity this time kuwa in the playoffs, I think na promise kutakuwa na a step to the semis, of which mostly nashukuru sana for the players, the work they wanna put in so much.
Hadi kufikia sasa kuna vitu vingi sana historical zimefanyika. Baadhi zimefanyika hapa Bloodbean, baadhi zimefanyika kwingineko. Msimu jana karibu sare dhidi ya Kabras. Kama misimu miwili karibu mna washinda KCB, lakini mwisho ikakuja kwenye quarter finals za Impala Floodlights, ambapo mlivunja rekodi ya wao kukuwa 5 times champion, continuous consecutive champions. Last game pia mmecheza hapa dhidi yao narrowly. Hizo vitu huwa zinakufanya unajihisi vipi kwamba wanasema kwa kizungu toe to toe na very able teams ambazo ziko na resources labda ukilinganisha na wewe, lakini unaweza kusukumana na makocha ambao wana uzoefu mkubwa sana, wamekaa kwenye game ama wamefanya makubwa kwingineko, but bado unaweza kusukumana nao karibu mwisho.
I think dream venye tulianza ilikuwa we picked like killer team, so tulikuwa tu tuna isolate one team at a time. So at the moment, by the time last season ilikuwa inaisha, tulikuwa sema we only have 2 teams zenye tunapiga Kenya Cup, which is Kabras na KCB. Na KCB when we went for tulienda Super Series, kukakuwa kuna tu some belief, kuna tu something that came in within our players wenye walikuwa huko, na tuliconceive idea we can beat them, na actually tuliwaambia tulikuwa Super Series kuwa tutawapiga, na I think during flights we were able to get one. We are grateful to be able to make hiyo history. That is something tutaishi tukikumbuka for some time. Kenya Cup game, we were so close. We really had planned for that. So tulikuwa so close, but unfortunately, first 10 minutes of the game, we let ourselves down na makosa kidogo wakatupunish 21-0 10 minutes, but we were able to come back paka 22-33, which we got a bonus. Haikuwa kitu mbaya. During, I think tunaweza sema what has been there with the boys ni ati they believe more, wanna believe more sai. So I get a way of interacting with them. There is a way I get into their mind. So I get to saturate your desire kutaka like they want to perform, they want to win. So and most of them ukiangalia hata wakipostingi status hapo unasikia ni prime black blood, kumaanisha most of them wamemature sai, like they're into that maturing stage as players, not as individuals but as players. Most of them ndo wana get into hiyo kumachua na wamekuwa kitusaidia sana.
Tukikaribia kumaliza, kabla nikuulize some of the topics ambazo zina revolve around Kenyan rugby and what's your take on them. Umesema kuhusiana na mambo ya prime players ambao wamepata hiyo experience na wakakuwa sasa, japo wachanga, ni wachezaji ambao wanaweza kuchanga sana kwenye klabu. Lakini kuna swali ambao mimi nimekuwa nikijiuliza 3-4 seasons ago, kwa sababu mimi nimeweza kufuatia Black Blood kwa kipindi. I think nimekuwa nikikuona pia ukicheza. Si kwamba nimezeeka, lakini I've seen hizo safari, kwamba kuna wakati tulikuwa tu bora tu salie kwenye Kenya Cup, iko sawa. Ni nini hichi? Na imaanishi kwamba these are the most talented. Kumekuwa na even other talented players hapa. Ni nini ambacho unawaambia, ama ni nini hichi ambacho umewapa kiasi cha kwamba hakuna kitu kikubwa kimebadilika, ile mentality kwamba we can go beyond just being to avoid relegation?
I think first nili make sure kwa wamerealize kwa hakuna difference kubwa kati ya probably player mwenye ako Blood na KCB. The biggest difference na kwa tu, apart from resources, kitu unaweza control ni attitude, your commitment, your desire, your hunger. Because place tuko hapa, we do not play at tupate probably bonus maybe for kama other clubs in scholar resources. I must do tupate ni no. See, we play because we love the game. Ndio kitu ya kwanza. So rewards for ourselves. Whenever we play well, whenever we do something good, whenever we win, you're our greatest reward. So I let them know of that. Then I think again we are more of a family, to go a close-knit group of people. So most of the times people are there for each other. So kukiwa na issue, we are standing for someone. So we are there for each other. Then I think most importantly niliwaambia kuwa hakunanga ati onadeni watu wa KCB wataamka waseme au watashinda Kenya Cup ama Kabras watashinda Kenya Cup. It takes work, it takes commitment, it takes so much, na so far so good. I think tuna get kufanya part of that. Na pia our players, most of ukipata players wetu wakienda under 19 wakienda national team wakirudingi, mentality yao waga imechange sana, na it really motivates the other players hapa pia wakuwe able ku dream of ku make your team. Na kama sasa tuko na our captain Robert, despite being a medical student, ako national team Kenya 15s, is a very good leader. Pia ana demand from the players, ana lead from the front. So kuna hiyo wanting to play for each other, kuna hiyo wanting to achieve greater things with the minimal resources tuko na. But that again, KU pia as our main sponsor pia imekuwa very helpful to us. Kukuwa able kukuwa na grao imenyolewa hivi, kukuwa able kuwa na watu ku access shule time watu wamefunga for trainings, to facilitate 20 days of games. Play a very big role sana, and I think we are really grateful for them for the support so far zenye wanatupa.
Shabiki wako mkubwa nani?
hata sijui.
Huwezi kosa kujua shabiki wako mkuu.
Sijui. Hawajawahi
Ule hauna ule mtu. Haya, tuachane na shabiki. Wakati mambo yanakaa ngumu zaidi, umefanya kila kitu lakini bado ifanyiki jinsi ambavyo unafikiria itafanyika, huo unamfikia nani, ama unazungumza na nani, ama huo unafanya nini?
Think mimi tuseme nikikuanga under pressure, most of the time me will talk from people. Much seclude, na look inside, na look what I would have done better, na look what could be. Then niko tu na a funny way of getting feedback from us. So naweza engage players not knowing hawajui wananipea feedback, so naweza engage, wananipea feedback but indirectly hawajui hao wananipea feedback. Then pia I think kutoka venye tulienda super series, most of the time maybe kukikuwa na nini naweza ongelesha, kuna the current KCB coach Oliver Manyeni, so we are good friends, so huwa tunashare na yeye, so kaa kuna kitu naona maybe it needs to be, na nafikiria kufanya na nimeshindwa venye kufanya, I can talk to him, ananipea his mind here or there. Na I think other people pia na look into hizi podcast kwa TV, hizi analysis za games pia zinanisaidia.
Ni nini ambacho, ama unasemaje kuhusiana na the current rugby setup ya Kenya across the board, kutoka kwenye ligi, jinsi tunafanya vitu? What's your take on vile tunafanya vitu in rugby saa vile tuna run ligi, how we do collabs, vile tunafanya vitu?
Okay, I think for me kitu naweza sema first, league sahi as it is, hata ukiangalia log venye iko, it tells venye clubs ziko, so unapata 1 2 3 out of the resourced clubs kwa hizi teams, followed by 4 5 of which ni Kabras, KCB, alafu Whalers, alafu inafuata na Queens Londis. So even though that is how resourced hizo teams ziko, so resources ina play a very big role in the number, the quality of players you have, the players you are able to sign, na pia the resources, like the things you are able to get as a training. Unapata hapa sasa tunaweza struggle, hatuna ball, hatuna nini, hatuna hizo vitu, so hiyo ina tell. So like kitambo kuna time kumekuwa na title sponsor wa Kenya Cup, so kulikuwa na subsidies, so hiyo subsidies zilikuwa zinasaidia maybe hizi clubs kama zetu, tunaweza nunua nazo mipira, tunaweza nunua nazo strappings and all that, zilikuwa zinasaidia sana. So maybe the union should find a way to bring back maybe corporates to the sport, wakuwe able to support hizi clubs. Ninakuwaga na very weird idea kuwa if kama union pia inaweza make through its members wanaweza make a legislation on the number of national team players a club can have. Juu unapata if you look like hizi team kubwa kama uliangalia maybe team ya